Alright, so I just saw Wonder Woman 1984 earlier today, and I wanted to come on here and make a review. But before I do that, I think there's a couple videos I want to make. It's been a while since I've made it. As you can see, I still don't have a proper place to film in or proper equipment, but at least I'm recording with an editing app this time, so I might be able to cut out some of the dead space. But anyway, so there's a couple videos that I wanted to make. I've been gone for quite a long time for a number of reasons: lack of motivation, lack of certainty of what I want to do with this channel, if I want to make a separate channel for entertainment and self-improvement, or if I just want to keep going with this one channel. Just whatever. But a couple movies that I want to review are Wonder Woman 1984 and New Mutants, which I recently saw also. But before I do that, I figure I'll do a quick video to I guess, what is it, wet my feet or wet my beak, or I don't even remember the term, but try and get back in the game. As you already know, these videos suck. But I will get better, and hopefully you'll join me on the journey to that. But anyways, enough delay. So Wonder Woman 1984, these are gonna be spoilers, and this is not the review, but this is Wonder Woman 1984 in the same continuity as Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and also the first Wonder Woman, because I was very curious to see if it contradicted itself or if it adhered to what was already established. And a blogger named Grace Randolph a long time ago made a statement that this would reboot the dceu and act as a sort of Flashpoint movie. So I was very curious to see if it contradicted the continuity or if it was in line with the continuity. Long story short, it is in line with the continuity that was established. So there's a few reasons that people would say that it's not. One, and this is, again, I said this is a spoiler, so one, Diana learns to fly in this. Two, Diana exhibits some new powers, like, well, she makes an object invisible. So people think that, being that she didn't do anything like that in the future movies, or the movies that supposedly take place in present time, that is a breaking continuity. And I would say that's not true, because if you actually watch the first Wonder Woman, Ares tells her that she has so much to learn. And you can see that Ares is manipulating the weather, he's levitating, he's manipulating what's it called, matter, and he wields his father's lightning. So he does a number of things which he indicates she's also capable of. So that's one. That's in Wonder Woman 1. So that lays the groundwork that the possibilities of what she's capable of are quite open-ended. So fast forward to Wonder Woman 1984, she mentions that as far as making the object invisible, A, it's very difficult for her, B, she's only done it one other time successfully, and C, well, that's pretty much it. She doesn't really know how to, so she didn't know if she could, and this is her second attempt and success at actually, this is her second successful attempt at actually making something invisible. as far as the flying thing goes, she made clear that up until that point, she still didn't know how to fly. But if you go off of Aries, you know that she's capable of flying, or at least has the potential to fly. So she goes off of what Steve says and is, I guess, inspired or learns, but based on what he says, how to fly. But even so, it's not like, well, then at the end you do see her flying pretty masterfully, so you could argue that she is good at flying. But at the end of Wonder Woman 1, you see her jump off of a building and the screen cuts, so you don't know if it's actually just a long jump or if she is flying. And if you remember in Batman vs. Superman, when she decides to actually engage the monster, which is Doomsday, she is at the Metropolis airport. And I always wondered, how did she get from the airport to the seaport, the airport in Metropolis to the seaport in Gotham to fight Doomsday? We don't know. But it's a possibility now that she flew there. Or rode lightning there, or whatever. There's a number of ways she could have gotten there, which this movie gave us the option to, or gave her options of how to get from point A to point B. So when we saw BVS, we just saw her drop out of the sky from where we last saw her, which was Metropolis. So she could have actually flown there. And as far as exhibiting her powers beyond that in BVS and Justice League, we don't really, there's no need for her to make anything invisible or practice, which she already said is difficult for her, and she's only successfully done twice. And we don't really see her use flight in battle, even in this movie. So after learning how to fly, she just uses it as a mode of travel. That's how she got to confront Lord and Cheetah at the end. She flew there, and she is aided by her ancestors' armor. So she doesn't really use flight in battle. She just uses her physicals: dashing, jumping, running, etc. So if she doesn't use flight to fight Cheetah, and she doesn't use, there's no contradiction that she didn't use flight to fight Doomsday or to fight Steppenwolf. But we always knew that there's a possibility of her using flight, again, because of what Aries said. And even at the end of Wonder Woman 1, when Steve dies and she kind of unlocks her God mode or godhood or whatever, she's floating in the sky. So that's pretty much it. She still relies on her physicals, her strength, her speed, and more so than the godly abilities that she's yet to master and is not very aware of. Because you have to remember that for most of her life, she had been taught that she was an Amazon, and only after meeting Aries did she start to get an understanding of her true origin. And and it was only a short meeting, so right after meeting him, she ends up killing him. So it's not like she had a whole bunch of time to learn and master these abilities, or even for it to sink in that she has them, or explore them. And she doesn't have a mentor or tutor because the gods are gone. So there's not really a break in continuity or a contradiction. I also wanted to know because Hippolyta the Queen of the Amazons in the first movie says that the world does not deserve Diana, and in this one she says the world is not ready. So it kind of implies that she eventually knew that she'd be introduced to the world, but that doesn't necessarily mean the world of men. She could have been talking about Themyscira, that the world was not, the Amazons were not ready yet for her potential. So the only contradiction, which are minor, is kind of Hippolyta was more discouraging Wonder Woman in the first movie, and a little bit more encouraging in this movie. And it's minor because in the first movie, Wonder Woman is, or Diana, baby Diana, is really infatuated by becoming a warrior, and her mother's discouraging her from becoming a warrior. And in this movie, it could be seen that Diana's not focusing on battle, so her mother is okay with her participating in the athletics or whatever, the Olympics of the Amazons. Although, well, yeah, that's pretty much it. The Olympics cover battle and like weapon type scenarios like archery and whatever else, but it's not really a martial art type of thing. It's more of like an obstacle course. So ultimately, there's not really a contradiction in continuity, and Wonder Woman 84 fits within the established lore so far. That's pretty much it.